What's a scow, mofo? Happy new moon in Cancer. I hope that y'all are keeping it together out there. It's been very emotional. Cancer is, like all of these lunations, they heighten the qualities of the astrological sign they're in, for better and worse. So you get to enhance the powers of that sign as long as you can earn that by, we call it building the vessel, by overcoming the shadow aspects of the sign as well. So you may have been very sensitive for the last couple of days leading up to this new moon. I know I certainly have been, and I think a lot of us have just come through a lot of father healing. You may be having waves of a sort of almost serene and tranquil level of mother healing, like mother acceptance, like going through those stages of grief. And with the mother, we've come to acceptance. Don't know where we're at with the father for you guys, but I really feel like during the 2022 predictions, I feel like spring and summer was a big, there was a lot of focus on mother-father healing. I just can't remember which month was which, but Godspeed with that. Take it slow, take it easy. Don't do too much and overwhelm yourself. It's a lot of heavy lifting, especially if this is the first time that it's coming up for you. It's very difficult in the beginning, but the good news is that the more that you unpack and offload, and you can actually digest the emotion, the lighter you will get. Okay, so there is light at the end of the tunnel. It won't be this bad for always, right? It'll get better and better. So a lot of family healing going on, and family and home and security and our interpersonal dynamics with that family unit, with that, tribal unit, the people that care for us and that we care for, all of those relationships are coming up for healing right now, and examination too. So good. I hope everything is getting ironed out for you. Hang in there, baby. Cat poster. So Cancer new moon is really making me feel Queen of Cups themes for us. Just being mindful to nurture the self and do a lot of self-care, because we're all feeling the way that Cancers usually feel. And my moon is in Cancer, so it's like my feelings are feelings. My feelings are very emotional, and I feel them a lot, my emotions. Cancers are very sensitive and very, a lot of emotion. They're very intuitive. They're very in touch with others. They're very psychic. They're very compassionate and understanding because they're empathic. And we'll talk about that more. But we have a tendency to leak out all of our energy because our boundaries are so fluid. We're so watery. So we need to remember to not to resist the urge to just overgive to others, because we feel them, so poignantly, and self-nurture so that we're not depleted. Because if we are depleted, we can't show up and be servants to the light, right? We're not gonna have clean energy. We're going to be affected by our moods, right? So we need to nurture and make sure that we are in optimal, primed radiance, right? And that is not selfish. It's almost Cancer's tendency to value others over the self. And so we need to bring that into balance and realize that we need to value ourselves and our own needs, and that's a healthy thing to do, and it's not selfish. In fact, for some of us, and in sometimes we go through lessons where we need to be less selfish and more sharing with others. But in this particular season right now, we're being asked to have more compassion towards the self and put more nurturing and care towards the self, because we are starting to value others even more than ourselves, past the point of being healthy or altruistic or even spiritual, right? It's like we're sort of like in the vice zone there. The scales are off from virtue to vice. So we need to strengthen our boundaries. Let's see. So I'm going to go by my notes a little bit so I make sure and cover all of our points. Fill yourself so that you can show up fully, but don't overgive and don't overextend yourself or prioritize others' needs over your own. We're learning to have more sovereignty and dominion over ourselves so that we can have more secure boundaries, which helps us learn how to trust ourselves better, and then also how to let others earn the trust that we give them. And so it's that we're learning how to apply trust and how to give trust and when to give trust. And then we're learning to show up for ourselves and have stronger boundaries and be firm in those so that we can trust ourselves, so that we begin to feel more safe around others, because we know that we are not going to be as impressionable, right, as we once were, maybe. So cancers are empaths. We were going to talk about this. So sometimes it's difficult to know when you are very empathic where you begin and another person ends, because our energetic boundaries and our emotional boundaries are very like fluid and mutable. We can feel others and we can feel so much compassion and love for people because we understand how they feel, because we're feeling their feelings. But at the same time, we can literally not know that we are near people and we are feeling their feelings, and those feelings don't even belong to us at all. And so we can find ourselves, at the mercy of these moods that are washing over us and not even realize that they're not even ours to begin with. So it's important that we start becoming more aware of that and start putting, energetic boundaries around ourselves. One way to do it is just practicing awareness, checking in with questions, surrounding yourself, doing like a prayer every day and speaking out loud, but also in a visual sense, surrounding yourself with a protective white light is very helpful. I like to carry certain stones and crystals on me and sleep with them under my pillow. So you want to do like grounding things like smoky quartz and like the darker stones like jet and onyx and like pneumite and astrophyllite, and those darker stones are all very protective and grounding. And just asking yourself questions like, okay, what am I feeling right now? Why would I be feeling this way? Does this even belong to me? And if it does belong to me, where is this coming from? What thought, because it all starts in the thought realm. Thoughts inform our feelings. Thoughts, we're going to feel based on what our thoughts are, what our inner landscape is up here. So what thought would lead me to feel this way? Is this thought Is this a healthy thought? Is this a positive, proactive, helpful thought? Or is this a toxic thought? Do I need this? Do I need to think about this like this? Do I want to? Does it benefit me in any way? Like, you can just sort of like dump things off after you examine them. We want to feel, we want to digest, we want to understand, but we don't want to cling on forever. We want to process and let it go. And so I think we're finding that all of this offloading is suddenly making us feel so much better and so much lighter. I went off on a tangent there. Let me refer back to the note. So because we feel everyone so much more, the veil is so much thinner with us, and we're feeling everyone and we're empathic and sympathetic towards them, we're also very mutable, even though we're a cardinal sign. And so it means that we tend to adapt for the sake of accommodating others' needs, but always at the sake of our own, to the point that we are self-deprecating in a negative way. We're downgrading the way that we value ourselves, not even as equal anymore to our brothers and sisters, but like everyone else is more important than us. We are valid, we are adequate, our needs matter, we matter. And so that's something that we need to start really adopting and really reinforcing, because this over tendency to value and overgive to others is draining you of your energy, and it is also causing a lot of anger and frustration. we need to just turn all of this like nurturing energy over the next couple of weeks and like go overkill onto ourselves, because we need to know what it's like for a change to really prioritize ourselves, right? And then let it fall back into balance. You know, we don't want to stay in that self-centered place forever, but we do need to catch up and like kind of like go on a self-care retreat mode, right? We need a emergency self-care response pronto, because we become depleted and we're burning out. And then, you know, if we keep overgiving to others, we create what in, you know, the Hebrew tradition we call the bread of shame. You know, when you overgive and someone doesn't earn, they resent it. And it's like they don't even know why, but it just becomes this like point of tension between, because it's like a codependent, unhealthy bargaining, right? It's not pure giving. It's not unconditional. So the pain we feel comes from this self-abandonment, because we're losing ourselves in relationships with people, trying to accommodate, but like we don't prioritize ourselves, therefore we don't get to show them who we really are, and there's no intimacy there. There's no authenticity or integrity in the relationship at that point. And then we get frustrated and angry with others because they aren't living up to our expectations or matching us in the overgiving, because they might have healthier boundaries, or they're just not willing to like match that, but we don't realize what healthy boundaries are, or we're just learning to. So that has made us feel like we're showing up, but others aren't. See, so we need to get that perception into balance, and it starts with us first. You know, meeting your own needs and getting those tended to, so that you feel complete and you feel like your energy is being spent on you, and it's not just being spent giving to everyone else, leaving you feeling abandoned and scarce and in lack and like depleted, right? And then like looking to everyone else to like refill your tank. You have to fill it yourself and then share the overspill with others, right? So the lesson here is to love and value and respect ourselves, and to turn all that nurturing back inwards for a period. So as usual, it's all about self-love, self-esteem, self-respect. Love yourself first, as always. And then we're learning to value ourselves and feel and see ourselves as worthy, and worthy of having our needs, and worthy of having our feelings, and worthy of having those needs met. But a very important key here, and this is one reason why I'm glad I'm like following my notes for this point, because I did not want to miss this. The key is to understand that we cannot be dependent on others to meet our needs. Not to validate us, not to make us feel fulfilled, not to make us feel like we are okay. We cannot wait for others to tell us that we're special, or that we have permission to live the way that we want to, or to be ourselves, or to be okay with ourselves. We cannot give them that power, because then we give them the power to make us feel degraded and shameful and not worthy, right? So we need to hold on to that sovereignty and not give it away by meeting our own needs with between ourself and our self relationship, and our relationship with our soul and our spirit, and with God and with Holy Spirit, you know, and doing that work with our source, right? With our higher source, and knowing that source is the source of all. The flesh suits and like the avatar that it shows up in is like irrelevant. It's just source. So knowing that we are meeting those needs through source, and not looking to others to fill those needs for us. And it takes the pressure off of them, but it also heals the codependent strings attached situation, right? And it also is very freeing, because when you have met your needs, then first of all, you're not as needy as you were. And then second, you have a stronger sense of self and more courage to set your boundaries, because you're not like desperate for someone to like, you're not worried that you're going to upset the cart, you know, and that you're going to be abandoned, because so what if you are, you'll be fine on your own, because you're meeting your own needs. You don't need someone else to. It doesn't matter, you know, what you're looking at, source is on the other side of it, and will always send, you know, a compensating energy to replace and to be in affinity with where you're at in the moment, right? With what you need at that time. So if you have more self-respect and you have healthier boundaries and you feel more satisfied and less needy, then you can calmly and in a healthy way communicate these with your partner, these needs and realize that your partner also has needs too, and that learning to show up and communicate and meet each other's needs is like a process, and it's a mutual process, and it's not going to be achieved overnight. So you either both mutually agree to stay in that process together, or if one or both of you is not in it, then you're not in a partnership, and you need to either have a serious talk about regroup and readdress or making other plans, right? But if you're not dependent on others to meet your needs, then you're free to do that, and you're not terrified of that possibility. And it gives you that whole fuck you, I can walk away quality is very attractive because it lets your partner off the hook because they're not responsible for like your every happiness and well-being, right? So that's healthy. Interdependent relationships. So validate and fulfill yourself first, and do that through your relationship with Source. And that's an inside job, and it takes work, and it takes consistent effort to show up and be consistent and devoted and committed to yourself. But it takes you doing it to yourself, for yourself first, before anybody else will show up for you and commit to you in that way as well. Because you have to be worthy. You have to know that you're worthy to project that worthiness. And then if you are depending on others to be the meter of your needs and to validate you, then you're building a false sense of security that's going to crash eventually, or over and over again, as many times as it needs to. And you're giving your power away. So as you learn to self-soothe and self-satisfy, you're able to set healthier boundaries and communicate these and have this process, and your relationships improve and the rest of your life improves. All right, covered that. So our new moon is always activating manifestation, but in this particular new moon, being in Cancer and being connected to that watery realm of the sacral chakra, we're really opening up and unblocking our connection to the dream realm, the astral realm, our imagination, our creativity. We're tapping into the subconscious and unblocking all of that creative flow. So that's really coming alive right now. And it's also enhancing our manifestation, because our feelings and our imagination really give a lot of fuel to those manifestations. So be really mindful right now about what you're wanting to call in and create and enhance and feed. And then we're also finding, Cancer is associated with the home. So I feel like your home is probably being upgraded in some ways. Like you might be having a new home, but you also might be like cleaning up or doing, little projects around the house, because it's mirroring what's happening on the inside. And the imagery that I kept getting on the inside is that we are like preparing our mansion for an up level, for an upgrade. And, when the Bible talks about, our Father has many mansions in his kingdom, it's like, the mansion is the state in which we live, the way we dwell. How are we dwelling? What are we dwelling on and in? What is our state of being like? How are we living? What state are we living and having our being in? And it's like a state of consciousness and experience and perception. But I think it creates this hermeneutic lens around us and informs the way we experience life. So we're preparing our mansions so that during this new energetic cycle, this new learning cycle, this new up-leveled phase that we're entering, we can truly have a new experience of life as a new person, as one step closer to that higher self, that higher aspect of self, that more integrated self. We are uplifting our states of consciousness and letting go of old ways of being and living, letting go of so much emotional clutter and baggage that had been like weighing us down and keeping us in this certain state that we were at, but we're really moving out of it, changing the way that we feel about things, because we're doing a lot of the subconscious work, and it's really starting to take effect. And there's also Neptune is going into retrograde in Pisces, and so that is also enhancing this watery nature of things, and it's enhancing the dreaminess of it. and the vividness of our imagination. But it's also making it easy to fall prey to illusion as well. So be careful that you don't get caught up in the realm of illusion and beyond the dreaming realm, beyond the daydreaming, beyond the visualizing, right? Show yourself what's possible for your future in like a really high vibrational way. And let's see, the mansion you live in, expanding the consciousness, your experience, your perception. Oh, but also this Neptune and Cancer energy is so watery that nothing feels very like secure or solid right now. So, you know, just be extra careful to do grounding exercises and try to ground yourself and center yourself. But it's also going to take extra awareness right now to catch all those insecurities that might be coming up, and watch for self-doubt to be creeping in, and be careful not to start catastrophizing in your imagination, because the manifestation power has increased for good or bad. So try not to, dream about like the worst case scenarios and all that. Just give yourself a vacation from that for a little bit. All right, you guys, it is time for the cards. Let us do a Celtic cross with the straightforward oracle. And then we will pull a couple of tarot cards. And then we will pull a moon cycle card and an angel wisdom. See how good that shuffle? Angel wisdom tarot card. And then we'll pull from our little oracles over there that we always love. All right, so the first card represents us in the context of our situation during this new moon and waxing phase. What do we need to know about this moment that will help us? Who are we in the context of just this right now? Needless worry. Okay, great. So don't worry. The anxiety is just the feeling of that crab in the shell. You know, when we feel the crab is so sensitive and so soft and so sweet, it's delicious and good with butter. But like the crab is so soft and sweet that it's so vulnerable, and it has this shell, but it's kind of easy to like crack through. And so, you know, the spider the crab can be very defensive. You know, it's like got its little pinchers and it's like receding and you know, scurrying away and you know, I'll get you if you come near me. So just try not to worry, because it'll entice you to feel defensive. There's also, I can't remember, it's like Pluto squaring Aries like at the beginning of July. So I mean, you might be like flipping tables like Jesus in the market. So just resist the urge to flip tables. Oh, also earlier I kept thinking, you know, it's no wonder that the United States claimed our independence from Britain during the Cancer season, because we were like claiming our independence and finally like setting a healthy boundary for ourselves. With, you know, so I just thought, oh no, that's really interesting and historic. But don't worry, things have been challenging, definitely, in a lot of ways. Life has been testing us because we've been up-leveling, right? And up-level implies that there's going to be sort of a gauntlet that we're going to have to jump through, flaming hoops and juggle some swords. But I think we're getting through it, and things are going to start easing up. And so don't worry, everything's fine. Don't catastrophize, just relax, self-care, and try to really nurture that state of inner peace, okay? What is crossing us right now? What energetic influence is crossing us? This is where the soul is calling you. I love that. So we're heeding the desires of our heart. That was another thing that I couldn't see in my notes because I just panicked and didn't read them. But the desires of our heart are becoming that much more clear because we've been able to unblock a lot of the layers that were blocking our connection with that. So as that desire increases, our manifestation power increases. We just have to be mindful to stay released about it and don't have any strong expectations of how it's going to play out one way or the other. Just have the desire there, keep showing up, keep building the vessel, keep doing the work, and keep following where the soul is calling you. Follow the bliss, follow the joy, follow the yearning of that deep place within. And know the difference between unhealthy and negative desires and those deep, fulfilling soul mission kind of callings. And I think that we know the difference. It just comes down to not falling into the illusion, right? That we just talked about. Don't fall for self-deceit just because you want something to be a certain way. Really get to the truth of it. No malarkey. Get real with yourself. The desire of your soul has a purpose. You are being called toward an experience that can serve to elevate your soul in some way. Whether pleasant or not, you are meant to experience this for your soul's healing and expansion. Trust this urge, explore the path, even if only temporarily. This may not be the thing, but it may be great. It may greatly contribute to the thing. The process is the purpose. Trust where the soul is calling. What elicits feelings? Trust where the soul is calling. What elicits feelings of upliftment and expansion, even a sense of the jitters. Okay, what elicits feelings of upliftment and expansiveness or expansion, even a sense of the jitters? The soul is leading you outside of your comfort zone so that you can elevate your vibration, so that the rest of your life can level up. You have to be a vibrational match for what you're calling in. So many times an experience can serve to benefit a seemingly unrelated area, but in spirituality and energy, everything is connected. Trust your desires at this time and follow them as long as they are leading you in a healthy direction. All right, you heard it here, folks. What is the subconscious influence that is affecting the situation right now? What subconscious influence is impacting us? Find a coach or teacher. Okay, so maybe a lesson, something that we were taught early on. More study is needed. Apprentice, enthusiastic student, continued education, training, mastering a skill. So the process of self-mastery and the practice that we're doing of sifting through the subconscious is the thing that is unblocking our situation right now. The more of that work that we do, the more it clears up our connection with our soul and it enhances that communication process so that it becomes very clear. The communication becomes much more easy to discern. What is the lesson from the past that is affecting us in our present? A new situation. Improved health, home life, lifestyle, new job, organization, outer harmony. I think what this means is that recently, for many of us, this whole, the past 6 months or so have been just living in a new way of life, learning a new, from scratch way to live. And we've been up-leveling and we've been putting in the work. And I think that having this card in that position is just saying that what we have planted seeds and we have set our foundation, and it is actually lending itself to all of the progress that we are seeing. And don't be alarmed if there's turbulence. That's just part of the process at all times. But we have initiated this process. We have started doing the work, and we've started actually putting the self-mastery into applicable action with our practical steps. A lot of us have changed the kinds of jobs that we have. We've changed our living situation. We've changed things within relationships, with different types of people in our life. So, it's taken a lot of focus and a lot of work, but it is starting to yield results, and it's starting to shift your energy in a different direction for the highest good, right? What is crowning us right now? What has potential to come into being? I feel like it was this card. It's time to party. Woo! I love it. Kick up your heels. It's time to celebrate. Life's getting too serious. Lighten up, go play, have some fun. All work and no play makes, you know what they say. Shake things up, live a little, don't be a Debbie Downer. So yeah, it's party time. It's 4th of July is coming up. It's summer. Like, go have fun. When we have fun and we can let ourselves be uplifted, it creates so much more room for the rest of our lives to breathe. It creates better, energy in all of our relationships because we feel good and we're having a good time, right? So go have fun. Go on some adventures. What's coming around the corner? Ooh, trusted advice. Someone around you is offering you advice. Take it. It's safe to listen. They have a point. We also had the listening card for our oracle forecast for the week. That was a big thing this week. It was about listening and like really listening with your heart, paying attention with honest ears, but also being quicker to listen rather than try to speak your truth. Listen to someone else's truth. It's so funny because in this same stack it was like, bad advice, save your money. It's good to be wise with your money right now. It always is good to be wise with your money, but save your money, make that a habit. Make it a practice because it's investing in your future self and it's part of self-care and self-nurturing. But yeah, don't be too frivolous with your money right now. Okay. The bad advice might be, it's like always just take everything out there with a grain of sand. It could be true that you're getting really great trusted advice from, some area from some people, but then other people will give you terrible advice. And it's so funny that every single month, I feel like, or every single one of these lunation workshops, we are always pulling trusted advice and bad advice in the same spread. So just be careful about who you confide in and who you trust, because people are like, everything that they respond to you with is just loaded with their own ego stuff. And I mean, are all the other people in your life doing the work like we are to try to become more aware? Probably not. And so these people don't even know the motives that drive them. They're just like, a bullet ricocheting around in a crowd inside, right? They haven't done this like work. So just be aware of who you are taking advice from, okay? What aspect of our perception is affecting our situation right now? Endings, completion, creation phase 4, emotional issue to overcome. Okay, I love this. So the emotional issue to overcome in endings. This is like we're at the end of this like huge emotional cycle, purging the rest of all of these old stories. The old self is really just dying off and being left behind. And so we're overcoming these long-held emotional patterns and these things that we've identified with for so long, these feelings that we've identified with. We can change the snap of a finger anytime we want to. And so we're starting to feel that a lot more recently. And so we've come to the end or the completion of one, era of lessons and experiences and all of that. And now we are sort of realizing, and sifting through all the things that we're taking away from that. Going into the next phase. Creation phase 4 is there's 4 creation phases, 1 through 4. And they're cyclical, right? And sometimes you're bouncing around also. This and that, right? And so creation phase 4 is about manifestation coming in. It's about the having, the light, receiving the light and having the vessel to contain the light. So it's the completion of the cycle. It's the receiving, right? Doing the work. Where are my blocks? What layers of the ego need to be removed? What actions do I need to take in the 1%, which means that what actions do I need to take in the physical world to match the interior work that I'm doing, to embody that lesson, right? To integrate. Marry the internal work with the external work and focus on where you want to make that shift. So in order to get the manifestation, we have to do the unblocking work. And that's what we are doing right now. And it's like, it's coming through all of this like subconscious unprogramming, reprogramming that we're doing. New beliefs and new feelings that we're adopting, new thoughts, right? So this is all really exciting. How is our outer world affecting us? Emuna, oh my gosh, absolute certainty, faith, understanding that you already possess everything that you desire. It's like, this is so nice because it's like the universe is saying like your outer circumstances really are shifting because you're really starting to develop a certainty in your faith stronger than what you need the rational world to tell you is believable. That is what Rob Bell calls trans-rational, where you used to be pre-rational and then you were rational and then you don't need to be rational anymore, you're trans-rational. You understand that there's a mystic greater truth, right? That's bigger than this 3D, than the coffee table, than the things that we can feel and see and taste and touch. There's a whole gaggle of other mysteries out there in kingdoms and realms that we can't even begin to fathom. So we are starting to have that mustard grain seed. And it's so funny because I grew mustard seed greens and they've begun to seed. And I was like, I need to grab one little mustard grain seed and put it in a little jar because that is my own little mustard grain seed of faith that I have grown. That is Amuna. That little drop, that little tiny bit of certainty can move mountains. Just that, just enough, right? So we're beginning to glimpse that. So don't get too excited and ahead of yourself because you can always go down in a blazing inferno of just an emotional meltdown any minute, right? Okay, what is representative of our wishes and fears right now? Ooh, graduation! Hallelujah! Love it. Save your money again. Geez. Graduation. So major healing, lesson truly embodied, wholeness, next level of evolution, completion, successful finish. So like, I'm just, round of applause, people. Grab your diploma. You know, your wish, like you're overcoming your fears, and so your wishes are getting closer. We've really come to the end of a huge phase of life lessons. And so now I think it's just this like nice languid moment before the next phase really gets full steam ahead, but very exciting, very good things. I think it's just like, this is like our acknowledgement from, you know, our heavenly hosts and teams, like, you made it, you're doing it, it's like happening. Like you're becoming a person. You're learning. What is that? Our final outcome. A lesson you're meant to repeat. You graduated, you're at the end of this, and now you're gonna go to graduate school. And you're like, what? I just got finished getting my degree. I don't wanna be a doctor. Oh, okay, so something might circle back around. And you're like, I'm so dead. Great, that's where you need to be. You need to be so dead because that's the only way it can, like, you can come at this differently than you have before. So you can do this differently this time. When it comes back this time, you're going to be a different person. And it makes sense that now that we're in this new up-leveled self, the test now is, all right, toots, now that you're here, now that you're all ready for showtime, like, let's see what happens when life comes at you with your favorite cycle of your favorite lesson coming back to see like how you're gonna show up this time. And the answer to that is only you know that. Only you know that. And listen to your heart. It is waiting for you. Yeah, the desires of your heart, that was part of the theme. So get real. Get real about what you truly desire. And I think it's going to be more clear because we are unloading and healing and correcting so much. Okay, let's get a couple of clarifying cards from La Tarot. What y'all got to say today? What do we need to know for the next couple of weeks about launching ourselves into a new state of being? Ooh, Wheel of Fortune! Oh, turning in our favor. Feeling good, feeling lucky. Jupiter energy, expansive optimism, embodying the wisdom that we have earned, and the tides are turning. The tides are a-turning. King of Swords, transforming that inner landscape up top, taking mastership and dominion, self-mastery and dominion over ourselves, sovereignty, control over our thoughts. Be careful not to be too cerebral or too cold or too blunt, but you can be more decisive now and less hesitant. And you have clarity. You know what you want, you know what you're going for. Just be careful not to be hold on to your feeling self too, right? Hold on to all the passion, because sometimes the King of Swords can be a little sterile, little too, brainy, not too literal kind of thing sometimes. Okay, what else? Page of Wands. Ooh, a new kind of mojo energy to go forward with, a new zest, sort of that young, dumb, and full of cum aspect, that cocksure and headstrong energy. And that's kind of what we need. We need that come what may, devil may care attitude. A lot of energy and a lot of drive going forward. You could be getting some news from something that might make a difference. But also there might be someone who's just younger than you that becomes kind of an influential character in your life, followed by Queen of Pentacles. And so this is, you're landing on your feet and you're starting to build a beautiful foundation for yourself. And so you know what you are bringing to the table now. You see what you offer. You see the beauty that surrounds you from within and without. You've become wise and you've learned how to nurture yourself and take care of yourself and start really taking care of your life, and things are really starting to flesh out for you. So be a queen, enjoy the month, enjoy, like the Queen of Pentacles, I always associate her with the home. Like she's very Taurus energy, but like Cancer also has that in common with Taurus. I feel that finding comfort in your own home, finding yourself at home within yourself, and finding your place in this world is going to be kind of a theme that's going to come up this week, or this couple of weeks in this waxing cycle. All right, awesome. Okay, so let's do a moon card. What moon phase wisdom can we get for the next couple of weeks? Ooh. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. It's like the moon will be waxing. Yes, it will be. So align yourself with that waxing energy. Let that momentum build towards the full moon. So keep doing little actions every day to visualize what you're calling in, to feel the excitement of it, to take steps in that direction, to take inspired action. But allow the energy to build, allow your excitement to build, and keep touching base with that little by little every day. And I've been trying to make a habit of just blessing out loud, like all the areas of my life, and praying out loud, just remembering how powerful your voice is and your words are. But yes, very exciting. I mean, all of this is like, the reading is like, it's very exciting right now. Everything is going well. You're doing okay. Oh, except for Five of Pentacles. Save your money. Oh my gosh. Let's see what the other cards were that came up with it. Give us more context. I mean, motherfucker. Oh, okay, we got Three of Cups and we have Six of Pentacles. Okay. So, in this context, I feel like, okay, so we have Five of Pentacles can have, I do feel like we need to pay attention to the message of saving our money and trying to build our finances and heal that. But also the Five of Pentacles can talk about being spiritually depleted or having a low sense of self-worth. And so we've been trying to overcome and heal that, and that's what we've really been focused on. And I think that it's party time. It's time to party is the Three of Cups energy. It's like you've healed this, and so it's time to celebrate, and it's time to move forward and allow new things to develop. And you have like-minded individuals who are also supporting that with you. And it says newsworthy of celebrating, announcements, engagements, weddings, pregnancy, graduation, a time for gratitude, close communities, a chosen family. So yes, you can be connecting and celebrating this new sense of self-worth with your chosen family, with your closest friends. But I do think that having a greater level of self-worth is going to open up more give and take, a more balanced flow of giving and receiving in your life. And because of that, you may have a sudden windfall come in, or a sudden burst of manifestation. So if you do get this sudden windfall, save it. Don't spend it. Don't splurge. Put it away and let it build your wealth instead of just always like spending what extra comes in, right? So allow that flow of give and take. Keep doing the unpacking to increase your sense of self-worth, and keep using that manifestation energy in a positive way. Don't allow yourself to slip into a sense of scarcity or needless worry, okay? Just keep reaffirming that you're abundant, and you feel so much more secure because you're having healthy practices of saving your money, right? And then when you get extra, you put it into savings instead of spending it, okay? So that way you feel more secure rather than worried about money because you're taking decisive action. Okay, let's consult the Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle about our manifestation. Ooh, synchronicity. Watch out for the synchronicities. This came up last week on Totally Tuesday's manifestation reading. On Tuesdays, we do manifestation oracle messages directly speaking to whatever it is that we're specifically trying to call in. So watch out for signs and synchronicities. Be honest with yourself not to fall into the illusion of making something a sign that's not, but pay attention to the things that really catch you off guard and like are like really in your face, and you just laugh and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I see it. I see it now. I literally saw a big billboard yesterday that had a sign for me and I laughed so hard. All right. Ooh, morning affirmations. I'm speaking out loud, using your words to bless your life. Start your day off with affirmations. I've added affirmations to my run. When I run, I like to like brainstorm and stuff, but I have affirmations that I do while I'm running, and it's like a moving, active meditation. But it's great to incorporate that. But yeah, speak like life into your life. Speak blessings into your life. You have the power to do that. And so it's important that we not only are aware not to speak toxic things and bad and negativity into our life, but to also use our words for good, to speak blessings and positivity into the world, and to build people up, right? And to express gratitude, and to spread positivity and love and nurture, but not over, don't push yourself on people, right? You know, be aware of how you're using that portal of energy. You're a powerful healer. Keep up the great work. Man, the universe is just really like, hey, good on ya. Good on ya. Thank you. Thank you. We are healing the heart. That is part of this Cancer process. I mean, all of this emotion is coming up. Have you guys had any tension in your chest? Have you had any weird physical symptoms come up? Any kind of difficulty like breathing or whatever? Heart healing is coming up. All right, one last card from the friendship. Make a date to play with your friends, which I'm going to do that if I can when I leave here, if I have time. Friendship, have fun. It's time to celebrate. We keep getting this message. All right, and this is our love oracle romance reading. Oh, love yourself first. The main theme, right? What is next? Soulmates. So by loving ourselves fully and wholly, it starts the process of calling in the soulmate, because when we feel whole and fully integrated and proud of ourselves and we love who we are, we can share who we are with others without feeling like we need to hide in our shell, right? Like the crab. Alrighty, what's next? Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Okay, so a lot of emotional renewal right now. Bringing in that love, self-love, And then the soulmate can come in with passion. And then let go of control issues. Like, don't push, just allow, just have fun, just be released, love yourself, let go, don't think about it, and just let life bring you little synchronicities and see what starts to happen. But yeah, let go of control issues. It'll all unfold naturally. Mercy, I am kind and thoughtful towards myself and others. So try to practice loving others for no reason, showing them mercy, because even though sometimes it's hard to give, it will open things up for more flow for you. And gratitude, declare your gratitude, declare how grateful you are for the things that are, you can't see yet, but you know that are just moments away, that are just begging to come in, that are pushing up against that edge. All right, you guys, happy new moon in Cancer. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Be good, but not too good. Ciao.